Hello, 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 everybody. It's me, Jay Chatfield, again, here from Loving Yourself to Life. If you're not loving you, then who are you loving? That's my thing now. It's always been something I put on the back burner, but I'm in the business of loving me. And in this process, this has been a great process for me because when you start loving you, you start taking out little things that you don't need, that no longer serves you, so that you can love you better, you can function better, and you can also receive better. I had a problem with receiving things, but that took some time to get rid of, which we could talk about that in another podcast. But today I want to talk about my little lesson, my little somebody sent a not somebody I know it was God, I know it was the universe that sent me the lesson. So I have been weeding out impatience in my life. So as a homeschool mom, I have to have a lot of patience, but I haven't. And it's been a couple of years. So I've been homeschooling for 5 years. How old is my daughter is 10, maybe around 6, because I pulled her out of school when she was 3. She was bored. She had done everything that they was doing already, and she learned at an accelerated rate. So she was getting in trouble because she was finishing her work and everybody else's work too. So they called this as her having a spirit of not listening. I can't think of the word, but I was like, nah, she was just like, I need to help you guys with all y'all work so all y'all can come play. Okay. So yeah, so it's been about 6 years. So my patience has been tested on many levels, but I have never passed the test, right? My daughter is a natural learner, but my son, my oldest son, he's coming along. I was looking at a little video of him the other night. It was him when he was maybe about 2 years old. He came to tell me that he hit his head, and I don't know if I've told the story or not. He didn't really talk really well until he was almost 4 years old, and that was after a while of us taking him to speech therapy. So he came to my room and he was crying. I was like, so tell me what's going on. I'm really big on words. Like, you need to be able to tell me so we can figure this out. I was even talking to my little babies like that. Like, y'all like 3 months old. I'm like, boo, I can't help you stop crying if you can't help me understand. But that's just, yeah. So so he came and he said, Akabuga boom bang, like that. And I'm like, really? He said, I show. He reenacted his fall for me. And I thought it was funny. It was hilarious because he was so serious, but then he started crying when I started laughing. What a great mom am I? But it's just my personality. Even now when they get hurt, I'm like, okay, y'all need to do better with y'all tripping and falling stuff. But the patience with him has been real. So, the last 2 years, I've been really focusing on his reading and comprehension. If your child can read and comprehend, they can do anything. And I think that's why back in the day they took that away, because they already knew if you could read and comprehend, there is nothing that you can tell me anymore. So I focus a lot on this with him. My daughter, she does that very well. I don't have a problem. We do a lot of math, science, and writing. Like, she's going to the 6th grade, so she's doing a lot of paragraph writing and things like that. So, but him, I've taken away a whole lot of other things. So he does art and robotics, but most of his time is spent reading and comprehending. Well, we did a spelling test today, and he's really been just a while. It's been a while since I've tested them at home, because I wasn't very consistent with a lot of things. And like I said, we being real on here, I just wasn't. And so I became, was giving him little things, and he learns a lot from my daughter. Well, and this wasn't even what I was going to tell you today, but this is what's coming out. And then I got to tell you what mine was, what my thing was. So, and he is spelling and writing sentences, and I'm looking like, when did you learn how to do this? But it's been all the year and a half of me putting things in front of him and him not responding. And I thought, and my husband was getting kind of like, we need to put him in school. And I was like, for what? So that he can be put in some type of remedial classes. I'm not doing that with him. If anybody's got to do this, if anybody's going to be patient with him, it's me. Because that was their idea when I got him tested to go to school at that time, where was not interested in homeschooling. They was like, oh, he's going to have to be in these, we call them remedial classes back when I was younger. So I don't know, I forgot what they called them, but they wanted to put him in the class where people were on the spectrum. And that's what they told me, he was on the spectrum. And I was like, I don't think so. So today when he did his spelling test and he spelled his words, he was hanging upside down on the sofa and he was spelling every one of the words. So if that's how you function, I'm all with it. I'm turning with him. I'm all upside down with him. Like, if that's where he's comfortable. And then he got down and he wrote his sentences, and he's having fun. He's laughing at every sentence. That's what I want. Encouraging an environment where you want to learn. Because when you have to do something, you don't learn all the pieces of the lessons. So let's bring it back to me. Patience. Now that's also been in my business. And now I've been, I've developed a course called Focus Your Hustle, and I've seen the fruits in the areas of certain things that I focus on, but now I'm focusing on the impatience. So maybe a year and a half ago, so we've been in our house for 3 years, so maybe in the first year, I put this little, like a stain, not a stain, but like this little clear thing on the floor, so that when you drop stuff on, it's like a tile. So when you drop something on a coating, so when you drop something on the floor, it can come up really quick. Like we have that type of tile where you got to get down there and kind of like put your knee all in the towel, try to get it up. And I was like, yeah, time for this. So I went and bought, because my neighbor said, oh, I found something that we can finish our floors with. And I was like, let me try it. You pay $19.99 a bottle. You think you doing it. You put it down. It's glistening. It's glossing. It's looking real good. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing. It lasted for 6 months and then it started peeling up. Yeah. So then I went and got some of that awesome spray stuff, and I scraped up most of maybe 70 square feet of it, but then I got lazy, impatient. And then I went and got this other stuff, but what it did was baked it down in the tile. So now it looks like my tile has a sunburn. Like it's like, it's light here and patchy. Oh, my husband was upset. He was like, he's really calculating, and whatever he does me, I'm like, whoa, I'm going to do it. It's going to work, Well, it backfired. And it's been like that for 2 years. So, because I can't get it up. And so I went to the tile place and they told me I'm going to have to get a sander, sand it up, or some other little can of stuff to do it. And I'm like, okay. So I just haven't gotten around to do it. But what I did was, I was like, in my quiet time, in my meditation, I was like, I need to get this up. We need to get this up. Somebody help me get this up, okay? Because it looks bad. It looks really bad. And half of the floor is clean. Where I took the time and scraped it. 8 hours of scraping. Your girl arm. I had one arm that was looking all nice and toned. For 8 hours on the floor, But I didn't do the other side, like I said. So it just looked bad. So today, I was talking to a friend of mine, came over, and she was like, what happened here? And I was telling her about it. I bent down and I touched the floor and I scratched and it came up. Now, mind you, I had been scrubbing on this sucker for the last whole year and a half. I just took my fingernail and scooch and it came up. Whoa. So I said today I sprayed a little bit of that awesome stuff on it, and I bought a Brillo. I had an old Brillo pad, and I scraped it up and it came up, and listen, y'all, can y'all feel the spirit over this video right now? I was so excited. So what happened was, and then I had to just get up, and I heard the voice say, that's all you had to do was wait. Wait through the mess. Yep. Keep pushing through the mess. It's going to look like what your efforts are not helping, are not working, but push through the mess. And you have little things in you that you can start chipping away at. Like I say, patience is a big one for me. My business wasn't flourishing because of patience, but then, like I said, now I got people calling me for some things, and I have to say, I just can't do that right now because I changed the way I thought about it, certain things. But now this patient has to go if I want to make the big breakthrough. So I have to keep pushing. I haven't seen a result with my son. Oh my gosh, one day it was just boom. I hadn't seen the results with the floor, and now just the little things that teach you these lessons. Now this is also streaming into something else that I'm doing. So I started having some doubts today, but just that floor situation is like, okay, I've planted my seeds on fertile soil. They have nowhere to go but grow, and grow positively. Why am I going to throw some shade on it when it's growing? Give it time. Push through. This is Jay Chatfield, and I'll see you next time. Do something for you that only you will love. Have a love yourself day. Oh, listen to the podcast. I got a podcast too. Have a love yourself day.